How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much for hanging out for a little while. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. As you can see, it's a little different here with the lighting, trying to set the mood for this spooky season. October is my favorite time of the year, and I've been waiting all year, to be honest, to talk about horror movies with you guys, classic horror movies. So this is the second in my classic horror movie review series for this month of this year, 2022. The last one I did was on Night of the Living Dead from 1968. Great film. So I decided this one is going to be on The Exorcist from 1973, directed by William Friedkin, based on the book by William Peter Blatty. This movie stars Ellen Burstyn in the role of Chris MacNeil. She is an actress who is making a film in Georgetown, Washington, living there with Regan, her 12-year-old daughter, played by Linda Blair. And Linda Blair gives an amazing performance in this film, and at such a young age, incredible, amazing to watch. And there are times that you watch this and you think to yourself, I can't believe this was a real actress going through all these things and saying all this stuff. And at such a young age, considering it's 1973, I can see why a lot of people were taken aback. Also in this film is the late Max von Sydow, who plays the elderly priest, Father Lancaster Marin. At the beginning of the film, he is in northern Iraq on some kind of expedition, and there are people there doing all kinds of excavating, and some people working for him find a small object, and they give it to him, and he looks it over, and he figures out what it is. And nearby on that same site is a full-size, life-size statue of that being or demon. In the scene where you see Father Marin looking at the statue, really sort of concerned about it, you also see in the background there are dogs sort of going at it that look like they're about to kill each other. So you see these dogs fighting, and you start to realize that the statue is giving off some sort of evil and affecting life around it. After the opening scene with Father Marin, the movie introduces us to the main character of the film, who was played by Ellen Burstyn. And Ellen Burstyn in the part of Chris MacNeil is amazing. She really feels like she goes through the ringer, and there are times when you just can't help but feel for this woman, and you watch this sort of thinking, if this really happened, this is how somebody would react, because all of her reactions feel completely warranted and natural and almost like they're happening in the moment. Some of the best acting I've ever seen, really. And it's really cool that I can say that, and that's coming out of a horror movie. So at first, everything seems kind of normal with Chris and her daughter Regan living in their house while she's shooting this film in Georgetown. And Regan is this really likable, sweet girl. She's really nice to her mom and an all-around good kid. And so when she starts acting kind of funny, saying weird things, doing strange things, coming downstairs and pissing on the ground during dinner parties, saying things like, you're all gonna die up there. Not long after this, things slowly go off the rails when, after a doctor's visit where Regan gets checked up by her doctor, and the doctor goes to her mother and says, hey, your daughter got really pissed off and said some things that were very unchildlike, some profanity stuff, because I guess he got too close to her hoo-ha and she wasn't having that. She gets kind of a laugh out of that for a second, but it's kind of dismissed. It's kind of sort of left at just a kid being a kid. But it escalates, of course. And before Chris knows it, she's having a hypnotist speak with her daughter. And she starts to go through different methods to try and find out what's wrong. And pretty soon, her daughter starts to go through this physical transformation. The doctors continue to not know what's going on. So in order to find out, they actually go as far as doing a spinal tap, and they try to exhaust pretty much every possibility until they have run out of answers and ideas, because they have no answers. And it is a doctor that actually suggests the idea to Chris MacNeil, you should probably talk to an exorcist. The two main exorcists in the film are Father Lancaster Marin, but also in this film is the character of Damien Karras, who is having a hell of a experience in this film with the loss of his mother and going through this real inner turmoil with his loss of faith. This movie is a great slow burn with many iconic scenes the spinning head, the spitting out the green stuff, levitating on the bed, lots of great stuff. And this is definitely not for the squeamish or faint of heart. And in my opinion, it still holds up. It's definitely a 4-star classic. I gotta talk about Lee J. Cobb also. He is a really great character. He's sort of a comedic relief and has a nice moment with Ellen Burstyn. He also has a nice scene at the end that I like with one of the priests that is a friend to the Father Karras character. And yeah, this movie does have sort of a sad ending, but it really does have really complex themes of loss of faith, but also themes of hope. And it's really an all-around great film, not just great horror film, but great film, period. So you guys should definitely look out for this one. It is one of those movies you can find on streaming because it is a popular classic, but get yourself a hard copy because you can't beat the hard copies. Every now and then you watch something on streaming, you get that time where maybe it's messing up or, they out of sync or something. So that's why I stick with my hard copies. But yeah, Exorcist, 1973, you can't beat it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and look out for the next classic movie review. Thank you very much. Till next time.